So we've been given the Charizard reveal. We've had a lot of interesting stuff that's kind of going in the debuts as well for Mega Pokemon coming to Pokemon Pocket. But in general, I'm very interested to see this Charizard deck, and I'm interested in this mega era because I don't know if it goes one or two ways with it. To be fair, I think some of the cards look stunning. This Charizard looks amazing. It looks fantastic. In hand, it'll be perfect. I must admit, I'm a big fan of the Mega Dragonite in this card. I think they could have done more with the Dragonite, but sometimes less is better. I'm always all for that. We also have then an Oricorio EX. I mean, where did that come from? But then I'm interested with these. These go one of two ways. Now, we've obviously seen the Mega Symphonia, we've seen the Mega Brave that have come out, and in general, they've had a good reception. I don't think they're bad at all. When we do look at them, we've obviously got Mega Gengar. Obviously, Mega Gengar's coming as well as the Diancie. I'm a big fan. I quite like the Haunter. It keeps with the theme as what it's had. And in terms of the deck itself, it's not bad. I just don't know if the hype is absolutely there for them. It's going to be an interesting one, depending on how Pokemon actually release, because I think there is so much burnout. It's unbelievable. In terms of opening packs, I don't think I can keep up. I don't think many people now, from Prismatic, from Surgeon, all the way to now, have got enough money to keep this hobby alive. It is crazy having to go month in, month out, and I know you don't have to spend it. That's the big point. It is crazy to try and keep up with the sets that are coming out right now. The prices are just nuts, and I only go with MSRP. I do not buy stuff on market unless I want to keep it sealed, which I don't because I can't keep anything sealed. I'm like a lot of people I can imagine. So I don't really buy anything out of kind of that first day launch because there's just never anything there. And the problem is because of that hype of, you know, that it's gone once day one's hit, you just feel like an obligation to buy it. It is absolutely nuts. And I think whether Mega Evolution does stop a lot of people doing that and maybe calms people down will be yet to see. But I've got a funny suspicion that it might. Now, obviously, when it comes to kind of the new ones then, so we look at the Charizard deck, it is going to be interesting because we do have these kind of different cards. These are also revealed as new type secret rare cards for Mega Pokemon named MA or Mega Attack Rare. I'm interested. I think it's something different. I really like that they go with, hopefully, the two different Japanese writing on the English and English writing on the Japanese. I think that's a really nice touch across the board. Now, when we look at these cards, I quite like them. Whether the masses does is going to be bigger the question, to be honest. I was a big fan of a lot of the Mega Brave cards that came out and had that illustration, especially some of the illustration rares and the SARs. Some of them look outrageously good, like genuinely incredible. We look at, for instance, we go to Mega Brave and you kind of go all the way down. We look at, for instance, the Mega Lucario, obviously the gold. I'm still hit and miss on that gold. I think I'd need to see it in person. But for instance, if we were to look at, okay, we don't have any of the Megas. That's fantastic. But for instance, if we go, let's go Mega Symphonia, then let's have a look. See if it's got this. We have nothing. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we go into Google Images, nice and easy. But you look at like the Lucario and the obvious Venusaur. If you look across this board, so we've got the Kangaskhan. I like them. I think they're phenomenal. Illustration Rares is one of the best cards out there. They are something of just an artwork for the modern. When it comes to the nostalgic vibe of going into vintage, I don't think that beats them. I think even cards now, from my personal childhood, if I'm looking at Neo, if I'm looking at kind of Expedition, I'm going all the way up to like a Diamond and Pearl. The nostalgic outweighs the modern, in my opinion. Whereas I do think the modern twist of, if I was thinking 10, 20 years on from now, I'm going to look back at these illustrations and think they were pretty incredible. The art design on them is fantastic. There's no kind of going away from that. These cards specifically, I think, are going to have a bit of time to sink in. I do like them. I think they're decent, but they are going to have a bit of time to kind of grind into them because they're brand new. There's something different. And a lot of the time, what I find with cards, the color scheme and kind of how they picture is totally different to how they look in person. And a lot of the time, in person, they look outstanding. Then, obviously, this is kind of the the comparison to what we saw previously in the X and Y era. So it is very similar with what we're going with here. I think they're a little bit of an upgrade from these, personally. I like some of these. I think there's a Mega Rayquaza in one of the sets that is outrageously good, but it's just because the card is so overwhelming. Whereas I think going into the kind of full art system, I'm a big fan of full arts. I like the battle partner full arts. I like normal full arts. I think that could make a very good collection in itself. So that's just a personal preference of mine. These, I think, will have that same feeling. When you see somebody, if they're not collecting all the SARs, they're collecting all of the full arts like this in the Mega Evolutions, I think that will make a lovely page or two, depending on how many they bring out in this Mega era. I think it will make a very nice set amongst themselves. So it's always interesting to see where we go when it comes to SARs. I think the Charizard is more than likely going to go through the roof, as most SARs are. But could we see some actual just flag from the community of it? Are we going to see some burnout from buying all of this product? And I do think that will come, just because of the amount that we've got. Obviously, we've got the Mega Pokemon coming into Pokemon Pocket that will be very interesting. That is going to be another section into the Pocket lifestyle where, again, there's just so much going on in there as well. It's just an interesting topic to look at when we have got so much going on. Where do we start? And to be honest, what I could suggest for anybody, and I've been saying this for a while, is singles are going to be your best friend at the moment. I think it's going to be a much better way to go with, because at the moment, it just isn't slowing down. The market is still absolutely nuts, and I don't see any way from it at the moment that comes out. Like, it seems to be that Pokemon is almost enabling it. Like I say with this gold card, it looks brilliant. It looks like I've just got it from Mallorca. But, I mean, in general, it looks a nice card. I will never turn it down. But I'm still unsure until I physically hold it if it's a card that I personally really like. It's always an interesting one, to say the least. Obviously, they got the Mega Lucario as well. It's got to be fantastic. And I do like where the Megas are going. I think the SARs are stunning. They've got great designs. And that's never into dispute, to be honest. I think over the past X amount of years of bringing these illustrations in, I do like a lot of them. The Bulbasaur, the designs that go together, it makes for great collections. It's just very difficult to collect everything. That is the hardest part, and the pill that you have to swallow if you are collecting sets. It's just very, very difficult. So I just kind of wanted to get your point on it. It's an interesting part with this Mega Evolutions. I think the Charizards and the Full Arts are very interesting to see. Whether they're going to be a massive hit or not, I think they will be. I really don't see how they cannot, because they do look very nice. But whether the Mega era in itself is a easy riser or potentially slow starter is yet to be determined. We'll see it in English very soon. Obviously, Inferno X comes out in September, late September. We'll see how it goes. But for now, keep this space open. Peace.